This week's discussion topic on finding the balance of writing and being a teacher was very interesting. In response to the first question of what strategies do you have for finding the time to write, especially while working and or being involved with family, my main strategy right now is that I will write in the afternoons or the evenings, especially after everyone has gone to bed. And in the afternoons, I usually start about 3 or 4 o'clock, if at all possible, and I write for about an hour or so. And I try to make sure I can let eke out that time frame. If I can't write for an hour or so, I try to at least do 15 to 30 minutes if at all possible. And there was several tips on the article of how to find time to write that I really liked about plan your writing sessions in smaller units and have a daily plan so you work smarter. And I really like those two tips because that's what I try to do every day is set up a daily plan for what my word count may be that day and when I'm going to be able to write that afternoon. And I tend to, how my schedule is right now is I will do my schoolwork will go from 11 o'clock to around 2 o'clock, and then I will take a break and I will start around 3 or 4 writing. And so that's one of the strategies I do is, and I break it up into the smaller units of, I don't, as far as writing, I don't spend more than, there will be sometimes that I do get into a writing session where I may write for 3 or 4 hours, and that is okay as well. But I tend to try to make sure every day I write for at least 30 minutes to an hour, no matter what. And the other thing of the daily plan helps me a lot as far as because I know what I'm going to do in the mornings, which is work on the schoolwork, and then in the afternoons I know I'm going to write, or in the evenings I may have to write. And as far as how I might balance this with as an online instructor in my writing will hopefully stay in the same schedule of being in the afternoons and the evenings. What would happen as far as finding the balance of teaching is that I would set up everything I need to as far as the course and check everything in the mornings during the time that I would have been doing the schoolwork. So the teaching will go into that time frame of in the mornings and early afternoons. And I really like the tips that the article on finding the balance to being a teacher and having the time management to have that and everything work is using the classroom discussion boards to answer general questions. I've already talked about this. What I plan to do is I want to make sure that they understand that the general questions may benefit everybody so they could ask those. But if there is something they do need to ask me that they don't want to talk about, I'm more than welcome to them emailing me if it's something that they really want to talk about that's private. And one of the other things was set up the office hours to take control of your inbox. I will set up my office hours as far as my responding to email. I know that I will make sure the students understand that, yes, I will reply within 24 hours. But as far as the setting up my office hours, I would set up my office hours most likely in the evenings around from, say, 6 to 8 to read and respond to the students' emails each day so they get them back in a timely manner. And also, one of the other tips was to use your CMS to automate as much of your course as possible. I like that tip, and that will be one of the tips I do utilize as far as the time management is to get everything scheduled as much as possible as far as things I need to do on my end of like videos and things like that I would use whatever CMS software, the CMS program that the school is using, whether it's Blackboard or Brightspace or whatever. I will utilize all those tools to my benefit and to the benefit of the students to be able to make sure everything stays on track if at all possible. And so I do really like those tips. And the schedule for both I know would change from term to term depending on what I would be teaching and things like that. So I do try to set up a daily schedule that would benefit both, that would give me the time to also be able to be with my family and not get burnt out as well.